Every surface has a characteristic property that it absorbs most of the light that falls on it and reflect only a small portion. And that small reflected portion is detected by our eyes, and a three-dimensional reconstruction of the surface is done by our brain. Now we have got only three cones in our eyes, red, green, blue, and that is why we see only in red, green, blue. Now realize that dogs have got two cones and they are a little bit lower in frequencies because they have to see the long wavelength, because they have to detect the danger at large distances. Dogs have to see at large distances. And that is why I would tend to imagine that the vision of a dog is a little bit dull. It sees mostly in red and a little bit dark. Contrary to dogs, birds have got very much refined vision. They have got four cones. And since they have to see very, very small objects to detect the food, they have to be able to see within very small wavelength, and that is very high frequency. So birds can see also in ultraviolet region. So imagine that birds are able to see a great range of colors, and they are able to comprehend all those small flames of light which are coming from the surface. This is quite fantastic to imagine that every animal perceives colors differently. And the reason we know it is because we have studied their eyes. We know the cones that they have in their eyes and which frequency of light they are able to detect. So I think that the life of a bird is extremely happening. It has to be very, very emotional in nature because they are living at the other side of the frequency spectrum. When you are a child, your vision is extremely heightened. That is because you are able to also see in very high frequencies. And same is the case of a bird. So a bird has to have a very, very heightened vision in order to survive. And that is quite a remarkable feature, in my opinion, worth appreciating. So suppose that the concept of reincarnation really exists, and in your next birth you are born as a bird, and then you have got a free will to choose whether you want to be born as a human or as a bird. I'm not really sure that you would choose to be born as a human. Maybe you would want the life of a bird more fulfilling than the life of a human. Maybe you will find the life of a bird more emotional, more contained, more spiritual, and more fulfilling in most of the ways that you would want to be born again as a bird. So the assumption that humans are the most intelligent species around is probably the correct one, even though we haven't got much data to prove it. But as far as fulfillment is contained, I'm not sure whether the life of humans is really more contained than other species. That's the point I'm making here.